The largest free blues festival in the world is celebrating 40 years in Chicago this weekend. And today, Lisa Fielding takes us behind the scenes of the legendary Chess Records, which is marking a milestone of its own this year.
You've probably driven by it several times, an unassuming storefront at 2120 South Michigan Avenue. But inside, a living history of the blues and rock and roll.
There aren't many cities that can claim a genre in itself like Chicago can.
Owned by two Polish brothers in 1950, Chess Records found a home away from home for the blues in Chicago.
They were one of the most successful record labels and the premier blues, Chicago blues label in the world.
Janine Judge is the executive director of Blues Heaven Foundation, the nonprofit that keeps the history alive.
Willie Dixon started the Blues Heaven Foundation in 1982 with the mission to help promote, protect, and preserve blues.
Willie Dixon was one of the main producers, songwriters, and arrangers of the signature Chess Records sound.
He, of course, wrote many of the songs that became hits recorded in this building and brought many of the artists in that became stars in their own rights. This is Studio A. A lot of stories in this building.
Walk into Studio A and you can feel the magic that was once made in this room.
Muddy Waters recorded here. Buddy Guy recorded here. Etta James recorded at last in the studio.
And on June 10th, a significant anniversary.
This is where it all happened, including the Rolling Stones sessions in 1964.
The 113-year-old building is also an historic landmark. But Judge says, as is with many old structures, they need much-needed repairs and restoration.
It's important to save and preserve a building such as this. Rock and roll was pretty much started here in this studio.
Every day, she says, when she walks into the door, she's reminded of the stories.
The echoes that are within these walls are now angels' whispers in my ears.
And the people and the music that changed the world.
Every evening, I feel the vibe of these artists here in this building.
Chess will celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Rolling Stones recording sessions next week and 75 years of the historic record label in 2025.
This is basically the birthplace of Chicago blues.
Lisa Fielding, 1059 WBBM.